Let's get another analogy in my mind. Not it's just like so the difference in public cloud and private cloud. This is a house. This is a house, right? This is definitely a house. Okay. What is the difference? Don't look at the prices. Don't look at the prices. What is the difference in this house and this one? What is this house in Sandy Springs, Georgia, and Dallas, Texas? What's the difference in these two houses?
Location.
Yeah, location.
That's one point. Location.
Privacy.
The other one is an apartment.
Space.
One is a 2-story. One is the other one is a
Structure.
And also design. The square meters too.
The square meters. Those are all visible differences, right? What is one thing that they have in common?
They are both up for.
They are both houses.
They are both houses.
They are both houses.
They are both houses. Thank you. Whoever said that, God bless you. They are both houses. The difference is that one is for rent and one is not. A public cloud and a private cloud is the same thing. One is offered for rent. The other one is offered as a private residence. The one thing they have in common, they have houses. They are both houses. They have bedrooms. They have running water. They have maybe rooftop. They have all those visible differences. Similarities, rather. They're the same. They're just, one is a house that is for sale, and one is a house that is for rent. Or one is a private residence that's not for sale. I could have just used the word sold instead of for sale, right? I could have just used sold. That means they're not looking to sell it. Okay, look at this one. One is a private residence that's not looking to be sold. It's a private residence. It's not renting out. It's not leasing out. It's just a private residence. While one is the same house, it's for rent. A public cloud and a private cloud is the same as a public cloud. A private cloud is a data center that is owned by a company where the use of that data center is only restricted to the company and all its branches. For example, the US government, they run a private cloud, right? All the agencies, State Department, they use one cloud environment, for example. So they don't share the cloud environment with outsiders. If you're not a government entity, you cannot use their data center. The data center is just up for the US government and its agencies. It's like, for example, the federal government of Nigeria. We have Ministry of State, Ministry of Niger Delta, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Medical Tourism abroad, Ministry of Foreign Presidency. Why a Nigerian? Ministry of all sort of stuff. In Imo State, they have Ministry of Happiness or Commission. Yes, Ministry of Happiness.
Yes.
Right. They have a lot of stuff. All that ministry, they have different computers that they use. So those computers, all the data is stored in their data center, in their own government data center. They cannot share it with you and I, who are civilian public, who are not part of the government parastatus or the government agency in case of the United States. Does that make sense between private cloud and public cloud?
Definitely.
Okay, another example is a public cloud is like Uber driver offering his car to be used for Uber driving. A private cloud is a car owner. It's a car owner who is not offering his car to be used for Uber. So the difference between private cloud and public cloud is the usage the access type. Why am I explaining this to you? On an interview, they will ask you, do you have a public cloud experience or private cloud experience? What they're asking you is, have you worked in a data center before where you help manage the virtualization of the day-to-day task there at the data center? Or do you public cloud experience like it's AWS? The reason why they throw that to you as a buzzword is to even know if you have understanding, that they ask you this question so to filter out the folks who fake their way in versus those who really know the stuff, who can deliver. Do you have understanding of what you're doing? Clicking VPC is one thing, but where did VPC come from? Why was VPC created? Why was it designed? What was VPC created to do? What was it created to accomplish? Those are kind of things that employers think of, when they interview you. They want to see if you have base knowledge. Because if you have solid foundation, you can help them grow their business. I'll tell you something. One of my project manager, she's like the brain box behind some of the initiatives in my company. She has a business. She has a degree in business, some kind of business stuff. I think MBA. She's doing she has an MBA, and now she's doing a second MBA in one US university here in Washington. She drives all of those changes. There's sometimes she challenges me like, "Oh, sir, I don't think that's right. I think we should do it this way and do it that way." I was like, "Oh, really?" But for project management, it has nothing to do with that stuff. So we have like 3 in 1. We not just hire a project manager, we have someone like a business expert, someone who also knows how to drive the business, knows the vision of the company, and is driving it, pulling the resources together to accomplish tasks. Companies want to see someone who has a base understanding of stuff, who has a grand understanding, not just getting the certification, not just passing exam, not just writing all that exam, all that theory. Remember, the exam that you wrote there, AWS is making money from it. So sometimes they can simplify it. They have banks of text questions. They just simplify the exam so that people can pass. Passing rate, increase passing rate in 1 quarter, reduce passing rate so that more people can fail, make it more difficult, and then increase passing rate again. Employers don't care about that. It's a good thing that AWS as a body has integrity, has built integrity into their exam, and teaching and providing resources so that people can pass in a show that, as a show of proof that you understand the AWS ecosystem, you understand the AWS technology. It's just it's a proof of your understanding. But the proof of your understanding is great. Then you have to deliver that proof of understanding on the job. So if they ask you, what is public cloud in an interview and private cloud, how would you explain to the interviewer? Let the first person begin.
It's like enterprise rent a car. They're like, a public cloud. They'll be like the AWS of our time. And then a private car owner like me, I'll be, a private company, a private person that, so that'll be the difference between us. A private person like me, and then, and then the public one will be enterprise rent-a-car or, a budget rent-a-car companies. That's an analogy that I can put it in.
That's beautiful, Mozi. Let me read some of the comments here. Isaac 2. It's a private cloud. The cloud services used by a single organization which are not exposed to the public. A private cloud reside inside the organization and must be behind the firewall. So only the organization has access to it and can manage it. Okay, deemed secret technology. Then Isaac 2 again says public cloud utilizes shared infrastructure, while private clouds utilize an organization's own infrastructure. Private clouds, sometimes referred to as a data center, reside on a company's own infrastructure, typically firewall protected and physically secured. Joy 10. They are not my cars, though, but thank you. Okay. Okay, Sam says something very powerful. It's a public cloud is like the airlines we use. While private cloud is like using or having a private jet. I like that. Sammy, you're thinking of the future. That's good. Olajumoke Fadeni say one is for commercial use, while the other one is for personal use. Awesome. A public cloud is like a buffet. Why this lady is a cook for a family and stuff, maybe our own self. This is private cloud. This woman here represents private cloud. And the other one represents this buffet people represent the public cloud. Okay.
My analogy will take us to a different environment. Let's think about public storage. If somebody can give me an example of those public storage. Like, you know where
U-Haul.
Warehouse.
U-Haul, thank you so much. U-Haul. When you want to store your storage, your property in U-Haul, okay, you have different options. They will tell you, oh, we have this kind of assets that you can just drive into. You have the ones that you go inside the building. You have control, hair control. You also have gates, okay, which is the security. However, you also have your padlock to your own unit. So those are the security in place. It's only you, even though it's public, anybody can go there and get a space. You have access, you have a code pad to get into the unit, as well as, which is gonna be your username and password, as well as you have key to also open your own private units that they gave you. That will be a public cloud. Now, when you're talking about a private cloud, will be your house, garage, or shed that you build, or your apartment garage that you have a storage outside your unit, that you only the one that have access to that private storage.
That's powerful. That is powerful.
Because if you're using cafeteria, anybody have access to that cafeteria that can go in and out, or buffet that can go in and out. But if you're using this storage, you still have that security in place. Let's keep that in mind when we're using those analogies. I hope that makes a little bit of sense to some other people.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Gona, Ikem, Eddie. The service of a private cloud is exclusively reserved or offered to one organization, but public cloud is shared infrastructure where different customers access the infrastructure, but their data is not shared. That's powerful. That is powerful. Michael Yembi, a public cloud is like a living room, while a private cloud is a bedroom. Public cloud is like a public transport car. You pay for your seat and the space you occupy and the length of your journey. That's beautiful. That is one of the most beautiful analogy I've seen about public cloud in a long time. That there is so beautiful. Mark, where are you connecting from? I like this. This is beautiful.
A private cloud is like a room in a house where you have access to and nobody else can have access to. And a public cloud is a room in a hotel when anybody can just have access to it, make payments for a particular period of time, and after the payment elapses, probably they leave.
Wow. Tosin, that's
yes,
so
sir.
beautiful. That is Thank so beautiful. Wow. Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one. Public cloud is not just like what's public. It's about what you do there, how you do it, the duration, the commitment, that you have there. That's beautiful.
I would say, just as an analogy, that public cloud is like seating at an airport gate where everyone can sit, while private cloud is like having airline membership access to the lounge where you have to pay to get in and sit in the same way.
Beautiful, beautiful. That is a beautiful analogy.
Public cloud is a Sunday church service where the congregation gather to worship, while a private cloud is your individual worship at home.
Yes, public cloud could be like a mosque where Muslims go on Friday to worship, and then every private cloud is when they pray on their own 3 times a day.
Public cloud is like when you go to the airport and then you have to connect to the airport's open Wi-Fi, compared to, and the private cloud will be when you are home and you have your own internet and it's password protected, when nobody else can connect to it, only if you give them access to it.
Beautiful, thank you. That's a good one.
Would you say a public cloud is like on-prem, but a private cloud is, when you work, from your home?
That's a good one. That's a good one, because on-prem there's a lot of cubicle, right? You work among people like office space. Okay, let's get to virtual. Let's get to virtual. Mosey, this is what you're referring to, right? This is what comes to mind, right?
Yes, sir.
When you say like office space, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good stuff, good stuff. Makes sense. Then why
and then the private will be like your home office, whereby you just work by yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying to look. Okay, like this lady. Let me see. She's riding her bike and walking. She's getting fit and getting
working at the same time.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. And she's in a meeting. That's awesome. Hold on. Right. Mr. Jeffrey says public cloud is like a public library that can generally be shared for everyone to study, and a private cloud is like your home library or bookshelf or personal home study space. That's beautiful. But one of the things I like about the analogy is the hotel, and someone else who said about the airport, because the airport, they are both sitting areas. But when you get to that sitting areas, it can be private. Another thing that what's his name? Oka, is he the guy in Upper Marlboro? That he said is Okate, right? You can use that analogy inside the AWS. You can use that as a VPC. So the public sitting area at the airport is the public cloud, and your VPC is that VIP stuff. Okate, I like that analogy. Thank you so much, because that's really beautiful. That's really what it is. Lumi, go for it.
Can we say the public cloud? The public is like 2-row, whereby anyone can just rent your car, and then the private is like Uber or a taxi that the owner of the car drives himself.
Then you can't call any of those companies, because they all both provide public services.
Uber and Turo, the same thing.
They provide public services, or they provide services to the public, so we can use them in that order. Kaza, are you
raising my hand?
Oh, Ugona, I'm so sorry. Okay, tell me. Apple users, it's not free, right? They pay subscription for it. And so once your subscription ends, that's where your assets end, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That's another perfect example of a private cloud or public cloud. Thank you.
Yeah, I have this analogy. Public cloud can be likened to a library, public library where you go to and study, and a lot of people will be there as well, compared to a private library you have in your house, where no other person, unless they are allowed by you, can join you in that library, in that study.
Say it again.
Public cloud can be likened to a public library where you go and study and you see people, a lot of people can go there without restriction, compared to a private library you have at home, and that you can study by yourself or by invited guests of yours, with a lot of restriction for public.
Awesome, thank you. Kemi A, what's up?
Hello, Dr. Lucky. Well done, sir. I want to liken a private cloud to an apartment, you get to yourself and your family. While the public cloud is likened to a service apartment that you pay for a particular period of time, because some other people are still going to share that service apartment after you leave the place.
Yes, that's cool. Thank you. Lola Osoba.
Yes, I want to liken it to like an Airbnb and a private residence. Airbnb, people come in, they rent it for a while as long as they need it, and after a while they leave. So, and the private apartment, which you own by yourself.
Awesome. That's a good one. Thank you so much. Good point. Good point. Airbnb and a private apartment. That's beautiful. AY, come on. AY, you raised your hand up.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Loke. So I don't have an analogy, but I just want to attack some of the analogy. I want to criticize them, constructive criticism. Some of them are not taking security into consideration. And let's take one of them, for instance, the airport analogy. He said that where a lot of people used to stay down. So, but if the question now is, if I take a bottle of water and I throw it in among the settings, it's going to touch somebody. But if you now compare that to a public cloud, if I do a misconfiguration on public cloud, it's not going to affect other people. It's only going to affect me. But the pure water thing example of the pure water that I did, if I throw the pure water, it's going to affect somebody. It's going to touch somebody.
Have you ever been to a private VIP lounge at the airport before?
No.
Do you know how it's built?
No.
It's excluded from everything. It's an exclusive place. So what we're looking at is not the technical definition of a public cloud. We're not looking at technicality. We're looking at the we're looking at the examples of it. Why is one called public cloud? Remember, regardless of all that security stuff you're trained there, everything in public cloud is the same in private cloud. The only difference is access. Is the concept. Thank you, Io. Is a concept. Well, the only thing, there's nothing different in public cloud when it comes to configuration and also with public cloud. And public and private cloud is the same thing. It's data center, it's computer, it's the same motherboard, fan, it's the same thing. It's the same security guard, it's the same, everything I listed there. Everything I listed the first day is the same thing for private or public cloud. The only difference is that Amazon is selling theirs as a service, while other companies are maintaining theirs for within the services in their company. The other companies sell, like, let me give you an example. Just because it's private cloud doesn't mean the service is not sold. At Walgreens, when I was a consultant at Walgreens bill, there are some departments that bill other departments for the work that they do for them. They pay them. Do you understand the logic in that? The business has to pay for IT. So it's not about the configuration and stuff. It's about the concept. What is public? Why is it called public cloud? Why is it called private cloud? If you understand it, security and configuration, we're going to go next. But we don't want to jump the gun. Do you understand? AY. So, but I like that you're paying attention to security, but we're not talking about the technicalities of the cloud. We're talking about the concept, the similarities, the examples, how they connect, how they relate. Does that make sense, AY?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Taba Afanyu Donald. Public cloud is like a beach where everyone can go and swim. Why private cloud is just be a swimming pool at home. That's beautiful. Thank you for the concept. Yeah. Sam Black. Sorry. Your hand is up.
My analogy would be a public cloud. It will be where you have to go to a public game center with your friends to play game. And a private cloud is going to be when you own a PS4 in your room and you play.
Awesome. Thank you for that analogy. Maybe it will. Join this up.
How about a public cloud is like a beautician that rents boots to different, hairstylists. And a private cloud is someone who uses their basement for exclusive services.
That's a beautician booth, right? That's an example. So as a hairstylist, you don't have to rent your own place. You pay for this seat.
Right.
One of them or all of them for your clients. And you give the client the address to meet you. That's what she meant. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Emmanuel, your hands are up. Mr. Emmanuel is not ready. Osoba.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Emmanuel, your audio is cracking up.
Oh, I was just saying that was earlier when I gave the sport analogy.
Okay.
Thank you, boss.
Osoba, Lola.
Yes, I want to ask now, for the airport example, are we not going to liken it to the VPC because airport is a public place anyway? But
yes,
the VIP
Osoba, can we
lounge-
see your face?
Okay, let me turn on my camera. I'm actually outside my home. I don't know if you can see me.
All right, hold on before you continue. Guys, let me tell you something. For those who are coming on, okay, go on, please. Go on, please.
Yeah, I said I would also want to liken it to the regular table lamp that we normally use in reading in our houses that has just one space for a bulb. That's a private cloud. Then the regular Christmas light that we normally use that has spaces for so many tiny bulbs. I want to liken that to the public cloud.
Nice. Because Christmas is coming, right?
Yeah, it's coming.
That's awesome. Mr. Kingsley, sir. You're on mute.
You're on mute.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Okay.
Okay, I was gonna liken a public cloud to like the bank where you go to do your regular checking out and savings account. Then the private one to like having this private safe deposit box. And the bank, you just walk in, have your key, open it, and put your money.
Public cloud. So say that again. Let's capture it.
Okay, like going to the bank, like every other customers, right? You go in there, you have the teller attending to you, right? Then you're having a private safe deposit box in the same bank. You have your own key. You just walk in there. They open up the whole area to you. You do that yourself. Open your box, put your money, you go out.
That will be VPC.
All right.
Private virtual see, that analogy is so powerful. You'll see it in a minute. It's going to come in handy when we start doing a VPC. That there is a perfect description. That there's a perfect example of a VPC. Where the same public bank, like you said, Mr. Kingsley, but you walked in to a private safe. That means away from the common area to an exclusive area where your money is being kept by the same bank, but in a different location inside the bank. Thank you, sir. That's powerful.
All right.
Modu, Kende.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
I'd like to liken it to like an investment environment. So you have the general stock market where everybody goes to go and buy and sell their stocks. You have full access to it. It's fully available to the public. But you do have some private, private investments that are only available to certain type of individuals based on the type of assets or the type of income that you have. So those are the private, that's the private cloud.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Can you explain again? I'm sorry, I didn't get that properly.
So what I said is that you have the public cloud that is available to everybody. When you want to make an investment, you want to, invest, you have full access to the stock market. So you just go there. That's like the public cloud. So, but the private cloud is when it's only available to certain sophisticated investors who can only have that access to that type of investment based on the expected knowledge that they have about those type of investments.
That's deep.
Thank you.
I want to liken it to a private car, like your personal private car, and the public buses that we go to at the bus stop.
A private what?
Car, your home private car, personal car.
Mm-hmm.
It's just for you, and the public transportation.
Okay, that's good. That's good enough. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right.
I want to back up what she just said, and I have a question coming at the end. Can I use if I have a car, right? I'm using the car for Uber. Can I say when I'm using the car for Uber is a public cloud?
Perfect.
And when I'm using the car for personal use, is it
the private cloud? You got it.
Okay.
You got it. That's it.
Okay.
That there is the perfection of it.
Okay, thank you.
So can I come in?
The hybrid.
It's not hybrid. Mr. Francis, you're at work and you're saying hybrid.
Wow.
I hear you. You know what? It's hybrid. I agree. It's hybrid. Hybrid cloud. Hybrid private and public cloud.
Dr. Lucky, can I come in?
Oh dear. That's so beautiful. You know what? I didn't see that though. It's true. It's funny, but it's true. Because it's private and public combined. And then, oh wow, that's beautiful. It was 3 in 1. Hybrid cloud, public cloud, and private cloud. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's beautiful. Wow.
Multi-cloud.
Multi-cloud, yes.
That was well captured.
Well captured. Okay. We're gonna we won't take the hand for now. I think we're done with this section. This woman has inspired my new lifestyle.
Can I just say one more and we're gone?
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right, I just want to compare this to like in New York City, we have the trains and the buses that are so crowded in the mornings. Whereas when you take Uber, it's going to be you alone riding on the Uber. So can we just compare that? Yes, can we compare that to the crowded bus or the crowded train?
It's like the crowded train in New York City
and riding
your private
in
car
Uber.
Plus your private car.
Oh, okay.
Because Uber is offering public service.
Yes, it's offering public service, but sometimes you could ride alone by yourself. So,
and no, it's not even sometimes. Uber is. Oh, except you are really shared Uber. Do they do that stuff again? Don't do that stuff anymore. Where you share ride with someone.
They stopped because of COVID.
And they stopped. Yeah. They used to do it. Ride share. The person who's living far will not tell the driver to go and drop him first. It's like a war of. Okay, good stuff.
Doctor, please, I have a question.
If you ask me the question now, we'll not get to the answer.
Please, for proper clarification, there is something I want to understand. Will it be right to say that private cloud has to be inside public cloud, but not accessible by many?
No, that would be VPC. But see an analogy, if you understand it that way, it's about privacy. It's a concept of privacy. It's a concept of limited access. It's a concept of non-public infrastructure. You understand? That's what we're dealing with.
Then the airport and the private lounges will be VPCs, not the public and private.
But yeah, it can double. VPCs, it can also double as private and public cloud. It's just a concept. The concept about the focus point here is privacy, the private of it, the exclusiveness. Because it's private cloud doesn't mean people don't have access to it. It's just people with authorization that have access to it. Do you understand here? Authorized access.
Yes.
Where the airport is unauthorized access, everybody comes. Whether you have ticket or not, you can go in.
Okay. Dr. Lucky?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I want you to clarify this point. When we are saying private and public cloud, are we not talking about something in the cloud? A lot of analogy we just made maybe physical things that are not in cloud. Physical.
So,
yeah.
So, okay, Mr. Andy, good question. The cloud is not the atmospheric cloud. The cloud is a concept. Like the first day, I'm not sure if you joined us the first day, I did explain that the cloud, can someone help me? I did explain that.
Right there. Is this?
Yeah, you're on the page. You're on it.
This one?
Just
the shots and everything is blocking my view. I said I can't see.
Up a bit.
Up a little. This, okay.
Yeah.
I said the cloud is a concept. Okay. That can always been available. Like when you're flying in the sky, you will see the cloud there above us. Okay. It's a concept. It's just it's pretty much elasticity. It never ends. If you're flying to San Francisco now, the cloud will continue.
Yeah.
If you go to Alaska, that's the end of your journey. The cloud will continue. If you go to China, the cloud will continue. It's like never ending.
Okay.
Are you Christian? Are you Christian?
Of course.
Okay. Not everyone is, so which is fine. You know how the Bible say that Jesus fed 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes? That they had basket filled.
Yes.
The fish
and
refused to finish.
There were some leftovers.
Yes. It's a concept. It's a concept.
Okay.
It's a concept like that. Not really.
So it does not mean when we say private cloud, it's not really talking about cloud. It's just environment. Yeah.
It's an environment. God would have done what He did to the Tower of Babel to us.
All right. Thank you very much.
And the cloud is actually like a bunch of big servers.
I don't think it was there the other day. Let me see if we still have our data center.
It's huge.
Hello, sir. That is it. Mr. Andy.
Yes.
This is
that's the server now.
Yes, that's the cloud.
That is a cloud.
That's what they call cloud. So it's a server as a service. They sell the space in the server for you to store your stuff.